What's up, ATL? My name is Jeff Rawlins, and this is Atlanta Sports Raw, your one-stop shop for everything Atlanta sports. We talk Hawks, we talk Falcons, we talk Braves, and we talk Atlanta United. We are going to be talking about the Julio Jones trade to the Tennessee Titans today. Just kind of wrapping it up, making sense of everything that happened, and going through all of it for those that haven't heard all the news. It was made official Monday. Julio is going to the Tennessee Titans for Julio and a sixth rounder in 2023 for a second round pick next year in the 2022 draft and a fourth rounder in the 2023 draft. So what does that mean for the Falcons? What does it mean for Julio himself? And how did this all come about? Just going to go from the start in case you haven't been following along. Very early in the offseason, Julio had been reported to be unhappy and had requested a trade even before the draft. And reports had it that the Falcons were willing to shop him and that they were requesting something close to a first-round pick, at least a first-round pick. And then we saw he came on that Undisputed show and said the infamous "I'm out of there" quote that a lot of you saw. And it seemed like it was pretty much inevitable at that point. When we heard that, I thought, yeah, he's gone. And I even thought up some decent matchups that, destinations for him. Obviously he wanted to go somewhere with a QB that could throw it around, and someone in the hunt, someone that he could win a championship with, that he got so close to in 2016. Places like Seattle or the Rams or Packers. Good God. Could you imagine throwing a Julio Jones dynamite stick into the barrel fire that has been the Packers offseason? But we won't dive into that. But all those places could also take the big cap hit that comes with Julio. So now we know that this trade has happened. We weren't really thinking Tennessee, and we'll get more to that in a little bit, why it actually does make sense for Tennessee and makes sense for Julio, and it makes sense for the Falcons. So let's dive into why it makes sense for the Falcons and what it means once he's gone. And the biggest thing is it means relief for their salary cap. After the draft, they couldn't even sign all their draft picks because they were in such deep cap space. And now that Julio's gone, a lot of people are saying, oh, we just gave up Julio in his prime and our offense was going to be one of the best ever with Kyle Pitts and Ridley and Hurst. Well, those guys are still around. I think we have all the weapons that we need, and we could not afford Julio on the cap space. So it was going to happen. The weapons are still there, in my opinion. And over the past 4 or 5 years, Julio has consistently missed playing time. Only played 9 games last year, and it just has been very troubled with injuries and missing consistent amount of playing time throughout his career, which of course, in my opinion, is a Hall of Fame career. The Falcons got one of the best wide receivers of our generation when they traded up, got him with that 5th overall pick. They gave up a lot to get him, but it was worth it in my opinion. But careers move on, teams move on from players, and players move on from teams, and it happens like that. He just wants to close out his career somewhere else. I don't fault him for it. I don't fault Atlanta for making the move, because it was what they needed to do. They were going to lose him sooner rather than later. Rather pick up something for him now than he just gets cut because of the cap, or reaches the end of his contract and wants to go somewhere else for the last year of his career, and we don't get anything for him. So that's what it means for the Falcons. So where Julio ended up, the Tennessee Titans, let's talk about that. Just what they're getting and what Julio's getting in this new team. The Titans are a team that lost 3 of their top 5 returning most productive receivers last year. They do have Derrick Henry, which is, in my opinion, other than Nick Chubb, the best running back in the league. Just a workhorse, can tote the rock 30 times a game. And we know Julio with that big play ability. Off the play action, if your running game is really going, I mean, even if it's only, 3 receptions, he can still torch you for 120 off those 3 receptions if the running game's working behind it. We saw that with Shanahan in 2016, which was one of his lowest career receptions that year, just year-to-year basis, and still he was ultra productive. But the running game was working. and obviously A.J. Brown's there. I think that's a big piece to why this trade actually happened, because obviously he was a Pro Bowler last year, but in only his second year. But you can't put value on that kind of mentor-mentee relationship that comes with a 10-year guy coming in and showing how to play the game right to a new one, which is huge. And Julio gets to finish his career with a legit postseason threat and not under a brand new head coach, which obviously the Falcons are dealing with a lot of turnover, new coordinators, and Smith's coming from the Tennessee Titans, so obviously they'll have a new offensive coordinator. But overall, I think it's a great thing for both sides. I think Julio got what he wanted. Tennessee got a big play threat, and the Falcons had to do what they needed to do to have a chance of putting a decent team on the field this year, because Julio was one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league. There's just, that's the facts. And we couldn't afford him anymore. He's 32. He's on his last legs. Great career. I appreciate everything he done for Atlanta, but it was time to move on. And I don't think anyone's at fault for that. So that's about it. Hope that kind of cleared things up or made you see it a little differently than we're just giving up a Hall of Famer for nothing. And but that'll do it for this time, guys. Appreciate all of you, and we'll see you next time. Coming with the Hawks Game 2 recap on Wednesday night. God bless, and we'll see you later, HEL. Bye.